Singletrack Session number 80. Breaking in the next set of 10.
Yep.
Getting close to 100. 20 more weeks, apparently, if I do my math right. 19, whatever.
Good math.
It's with the TrailManners podcast. We're here at Barber Studio. And, we're getting ready to tackle another week of our junk drawer.
That's right.
I think that's the best way to explain it to people. It's just kind of like what's going on, what's up,
right?
And talk to us. So just recently, we'll start off the same way. Our past episode was on the Antelope Island, the Buffalo Run 25K.
Right.
As we posted, it did not go according to maybe planned, trying to get a couple people on.
Right.
Joel wasn't even on, for heaven's sakes. So I think probably our downloads were lower. It was like, if it's just Eric, we're out.
No.
We'll wait till next week. I think things get carried away on race day. You know,
right.
Got Jim on there. You were out racing, and then
I wouldn't call it racing.
We were running,
I was out there running.
with a vest on.
Yep.
And I was volunteering. I was helping when I could.
Right.
And so it kind of got away. Had our tent set up. All the stuff was set out. No one stole my laptop.
That's a good start.
Trail runners are good people.
Yeah, the Buffaloes didn't come over and
that would have sucked.
Snag it.
I don't think I have.
They can go over and type.
I don't have Tatanka insurance.
Yeah, send out their little Insta-Kitty.
Free stuff over here by this table and canopy.
That's right.
It was a fun day. It was a nice day out on the island, too.
It was.
I got sunburned just on my face.
Uh-huh.
Because the wind was blowing.
Yeah.
So if you weren't running, it was a little chillier. Like if you're
right.
running, people obviously came through with salt stains and stuff.
But
it was a good race. We'll jump into it. The men's course record fell on the 25K.
Yeah.
Like 136 or 138
That's
for that
amazing.
25K. The dude's fast.
Riley Cook.
Yeah. He came through and someone said, he doesn't look like a runner. He looks more like a mountain guy.
Right.
Big old quads. You know, he didn't look like
But that's what it takes.
Yeah, but he didn't look because he's like a marathon guy.
Yeah.
Like he does well in the road marathons. But, had a good day. Fun watching the people come across. I didn't catch you come across. I caught the tail end right when you crossed underneath.
Yeah, I snuck in.
Instead of
I was hoping nobody'd see me.
Well, I missed you. I had my video camera, and I'm like, well, there's Joel finishing right there. There's his back, and he just walked across the finish line. So, it was a good day. Met some neat people.
Oh, yeah.
Always new people, too. It's like we see people that we've talked to before, which is always good, for sure. But like Deb, the one that won the contest for the free race entry.
Baker.
Yeah, she came over and introduced herself and said thank you. And she's like, I love racing, but I just, there's so many that it costs a lot, and this is awesome. So she was super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, saw a lot of familiar faces, but met a lot of new people. So it was kind of cool.
I met Travis out on the trail from Idaho Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
He came up behind me. He goes, I don't mean to sound creepy. It's the first thing he said to me. I took 2 steps to my right away.
Don't use that in the bar.
Yeah. But no, it was cool meeting Travis. Good guy. And he came down the race, the Buffalo, because I guess we had talked about it on the podcast before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, when I met somebody, I was standing around as Jim was giving the pre-race instructions.
Right.
And a guy came up to me, and he bumps me, and he's like, hey, this is your fault that I'm here. And I looked over, and he's like, yeah, I heard about it on the show. Thought I'd come out, and it was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. He did great. Saw him at the finish.
Yep.
Did really good. So we're happy to be enablers in any way possible.
That's right.
And, again, just seeing people out there. Saw a little bit of TrailManners swag out there. Not as much as last year, but maybe the next race with the 50K, 50-mile, 100-mile, we'll see a little bit more.
Probably.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
Speaking of swag, we'll get to that later. So that was a great weekend. Jim and his group, Britta, they do such a great job putting that race on. A little different format, and they nailed it.
Yeah, different feel.
Different feel for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, I stayed to clean up to the very end, and out of there, the sun was still up, and I was like, I don't even know what time it was, but it was early still, for the being out on the island. So, congratulations to everybody who ran that, and hopefully see more people in a couple weeks down there. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's jump around a little bit.
Okay.
Because that makes it funner. So this week, Friday. Basically tomorrow when this launches. So this launches on the 15th, which is a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So the 16th, which is Friday, March 16th, 2018.
Right.
We're going to be at AmerSport Factory Outlet.
Right. From
4 to 7 p.m.
Yes.
And we are going to be meeting people as they register.
Yes.
For the Gib Wallace 4-mile or 10-mile.
Right.
As well as they can sign up for the Rickey Gates Transamericana night.
Yes.
So come on out. We probably have a little bit of swag there.
Right. Have our new hats.
we'll bring some of those.
Yeah,
okay.
let's do that.
All right, let's do that.
Bring our new hats.
Let's do that. I'll have to remember that because that's not on my list yet. I was making a list of what to bring.
That should be like the only piece of swag we have, right? It should be the hats.
Well, I was going to give away a couple things.
Yes, a couple of the older things maybe, but if you want the hat, the best
new
hat, my favorite hat.
It's my favorite so far.
I love running in that hat.
Yeah, looks good. Looks really good. Get a lot of compliments on it too.
You do.
So yeah, we're going to be there, and AmerSport is going to be having some deep discounts
on their footwear. I believe.
On their footwear, they've already got super deep discounts on their apparel. They got a sale going on, but their footwear. If you come, meet us, hang out, register.
You got to register to get the discount.
You get the discount.
Yeah.
So,
you can't come down just hang out with us and expect to get the discount.
But you still can come hang out.
You can.
And if you bring cheese curds, we'll see what we can do for you too. But yeah, we're going to be there. Love to see people come out and say hi.
Yeah. If you can, if you're available.
And I don't know, I think it's going to be fun just hanging out in the shop.
Yeah.
A couple hours, meeting people, registering people like crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So it'll be fun. Something new for us, something we've never done before. So thanks to Connor and his team, Brittany, and everybody down there for opening the door, letting us do that. That'll be a lot of fun. Because they're such a great sponsor for this event for sure. And, pretty much everything we do, they're always on board for it. So what else we got going on this? Jumping around like crazy. You brought up an interesting article from AJW.
Yeah, Andy Jones-Wilkins.
Yeah, so
old school guy.
Why don't you go ahead and kind of kick that off?
So he's a coach for Carmichael Training Systems, and so he probably writes, I think, an article once a month maybe for their blog.
Okay.
He writes a weekly article for I Run Far. So this article was on the Carmichael Training System blog, and it basically said, is it time we need to start thinking about having increased cutoff for age groups? So basically the premise was, if you're from age 1 to 39, you get the standard cutoff.
Oh, I thought they'd shrink it.
Right? Yeah. And then from 40 to 49, you get a little bit healthier cutoff.
Okay.
50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, so on. And they keep bumping the cutoff depending on what bucket of age you're in.
Gotcha.
And so he went through his reasons, and there were good reasons.
Yeah.
And it made me think, I was like, I could see that. But then the race director in me said, no way.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe if you're over 60, bump it an hour.
Did he have any cons on there? Just like, this is why I think we should
obviously
do it?
The con was, the race directors are going to have to put more work into it. Yeah. The volunteers are going to have to be out there longer. He recognized that. He put that in his article right away. And then there was a really healthy discussion in the comment section, which doesn't really happen anymore in blog posts, right? It's usually on Suckbook. But all the race directors chimed in and said, no way. But I think that they kind of need to rethink that for those people that are a little bit older, say over 60.
Okay.
Explore that option of an extra half hour or an hour.
Okay, so it wasn't like deep cutoffs, like 2-3 hours.
Oh man, I think that would be kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was a lot of talk of, I let my people start earlier.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you're really extending the cutoff then.
You are. Yeah.
At that point, if you're starting them earlier, you still have to get your volunteers there, right? Or is it because they're starting early, or you're figuring they're going to take longer to get to that first aid station, and the aid station is going to be set up? But what if it's not set up, and then it's a safety issue?
Yeah.
Right?
I think that just opens a whole box of things. I mean, you just nailed a few of them, but because there's a lot of races we see that you can start early starts.
Yeah.
Can I do an early start?
Squaw Peak's a good example.
Yeah.
Right. You could start, I think it's, I want to say 3 a.m.
I would say 3 or 4 or something like that.
And the regular start is at 5
Yes, I think it is 3 because it's a couple hours. I think
it's 2 hours.
But maybe as a race director, I mean, you say, hey, if you want the early start, you have to be aware that aid stations may not be open by the time you hit them.
Yeah, but
or maybe
a liability.
Or maybe you do. Maybe they're early enough that they're not open as long, so you can open them earlier.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that first one at, say, mile 5 of a race. I mean, they're not going to be there. That first runner is going to come through. When that last one comes through at mile 5, you're not going to be there that long.
True.
Right? So maybe if you do open that first couple up earlier, then maybe it plays itself out later in the race.
I don't know.
But the late, I could see, well, because it's already been done, so it's not reinventing the wheel, but I can see the extended cutoff for an early start.
Yeah.
I, as a race director, and even, I guess, kind of as a quote-unquote runner, having the cutoff later, right? So it's like you start with everybody else, but we're, instead of 36 hours, we're giving you 38.
Right.
that's a big difference to me. Even though it's 2 hours, but you're talking volunteers, start finish.
Yes.
I mean, I saw everything this weekend at the Buffalo Run.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't a extended cutoff, but the people that came in late, and we'll get to this earlier, it held a lot back.
Yes.
And then the finish isn't nearly as exciting for them.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? It's,
right.
So how do you
accommodate those slower people that want to race?
Yeah.
Right?
I think the only way to me is that early start, really.
That might be the safest way to do it, as long as you're going to accommodate them through the aid stations early in the race.
And to me, depending on the length of the race, I think it's maybe that first, maybe stretching it to that second aid station. Depending on how far along it is, but I think maybe the only one you would really be opening earlier would be whatever that first aid station would be. And we're ballparking it with every race in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's a tough one, because I think the race, it's harder and harder to get volunteers in a lot of races. You see more and more races saying, hey, last minute push, we need volunteers. Right. And I think the more you put that much more stress and pressure and getting them there for longer periods of time, you might lose even more. There's more races, so they're getting thinner.
Right.
There's more things going on in people's lives, so they're out of town.
Yep.
Plus, a lot of them race.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm busy I got a long run, or I'm running that weekend, or I'm racing or whatever. So, man, that's a good discussion, though. It really is. We'd love to hear your feedback, especially from the race directors, and even from the people that might take advantage of that extra time cutoff.
Right.
Like there might be people out there going, I don't want that. You know? But there's people that like, oh, that'd be helpful.
For sure. I think that, if you're over 60, that's definitely going to help. Right.
Yeah. Because you see a lot of, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. I'm not as worldly, but you do see people, they say, oh, I'm chasing the cutoffs.
Yeah.
Right. I'm chasing those aid station to aid station. Right. You extend it. I mean, that cutoff will affect every single aid station.
Right.
I'm thinking about it. It's not just the finish. It's going to affect every aid station, how long they have to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially later in the race.
Yep.
It's like when that last runner comes through, you can pack up.
It makes logistics a lot harder for the race director.
It does. And, you mentioned this before we went on the show, and we'll get into it, but you're signing up for a race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
I for sure. And I know where you're going with this. I think if you're from age, say 18 to 60, you should be able to hit those cutoffs. Yeah. As long as you're in good physical form and you have no ailments, no injuries, you should be able to hit the cutoffs. After 60, you can start seeing that decline of performance due to age.
Yeah.
And maybe have a little leeway there. Maybe an little hour wiggle room there.
Maybe you let them start earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Earlier.
Yeah, I just have a hard time with extending it past the normal cutoff because the dynamic of the race changes.
It does. The finish line's not exciting anymore.
Well, look at the races we've seen in the past years where that person is running in at the cutoff's Hard Rock 48 hours, and they're coming down the chute at 47:55.
Right.
The excitement and the energy.
Yeah.
Now, what if someone comes around the corner a half hour later? Is anybody going to be there?
Oh, for sure.
Do you know if that person is in that category?
Yeah.
What if they're 40?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that, I don't know, it just brings up a good discussion for sure. I like the early race or the early start.
The early start for the older crowd.
Yeah. And then again, I don't know, you got to go back. It's a race director's race.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what if they say, you know what, we appreciate, we understand this, but this isn't a race that's going to offer that.
Right.
And registering for it, you need to know that. There's a ton of races out there.
Yeah, for sure. One, like it brings up the point you were just about to make. It's a race.
Yeah.
If you're going to decide to walk the race, you can do that on your own time.
Yeah.
I feel strongly about that.
Well, and especially like we saw, if a short distance race, right, where you can pretty much go aided yourself.
You can do it yourself.
So let's throw out there the Buffalo Run 25K.
Right.
So it's 25K, so it's 15 to 16 to 17 miles,
it's
right?
It's 16 and a half miles is what it is.
So whatever they pan out to be, if you're going to walk that far, you can totally aid yourself.
You should be able to aid yourself.
Yeah, you should. Now, if you're going to walk that far, this brought up a point this weekend is, hey, do you click on your registration? I'm walking, I'm not running.
Right.
Because that does affect the entire race.
The volunteers have to be out there a lot longer.
The finish line.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it goes to a cutoff. If you're under cutoff, though, then you're really not doing anything different, right?
Yeah, and I don't think that there is a cutoff on that one.
Yeah, well,
I think that's just Jim's decision not to have a cutoff.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to stay out there as long as he wants.
Yeah, or people want.
Yeah.
He'll be cleaning up by himself, hobbling around on a bad Achilles. But yeah, AJ makes a great point, and I think there could be more stuff like this coming down with as many people that do these and as many races as there are.
Right.
I mean, you could probably find little wiggle room in different places to either A, make the race better,
right,
B, make the race fit what you're looking for, even. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer in, and I see people complain all the time, I'm a firm believer in, it's the race director's race.
Yeah, exactly.
You do not have to pay money to run it.
I'm sure AJW is really speaking towards maybe like Leadville or Western states.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would agree with that. I didn't read the article, but I just know an AJW, and then the premise of the article, it does seem like maybe some of those longer ones.
Right.
But again, I think races like that, I'm sure they're set up early enough. So I'll go back to the early start, and you can decide how much wiggle room you want to give people. Right. But I think, again, it's only going to affect maybe that first aid station, and they're not there that long anyway.
No, they're not.
Because I'll be doing it the Smut race, right? The 100-mile, I'm at mile 5. I don't plan on being out there for more than an hour, really. Yeah. 5 miles, the first runner comes through to the last runner is not going to be that 5 mile 5 that. Even if you walk the first 5 completely, which is not probably going to happen.
Walking probably.
You're right. So I'm not too worried about those first races. I think they could probably do it. But again, race director's race, they make the call. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what everybody else thinks, because we do not know all, even though we don't. We just don't. Sorry. So this past weekend also, one of our favorites, or especially one of my favorites, so I always got to bring it up any time that's going on. Krissy Moehl was over, and I'm gonna slaughter the name, but I'm gonna do the best I can because I've seen some Bruce Lee movies and stuff. Gaoligong, I think that sounds right.
Yeah,
Gaoligong
sounds good. I like it.
I do. It sounds like a Godzilla foe.
Pretty close, huh?
The Gaoligong 100 was put on by UTMB.
Yep.
She won the inaugural 100-miler in 27:19.
It sounded like a hard course.
It did. It sounded like a hard course, but the thing I have to always go back, if you look at any of the photos, like if you go back and just hit Krissy Moehl on Facebook and you'll see photos, she's always smiling.
She looked pretty happy when she's
aid
finished
station,
this race.
finish lines. Just I love those type of photos when you can just see the excitement in people's eyes.
Right.
Because she was the inaugural winner of the regular UTMB 100, right? Like 15 years ago, and now she did it at this one. So that's 15 years of domination that we have numbers for. I mean, it's been before that. So that's super cool. And again, I just go back and see just the faces. The men's winner, same thing.
Right.
Just the joy and excitement. So congratulations to Krissy, because she's got to come back, because this weekend is the Chuckanut race.
It is. It's stacked.
Big race weekend. Race I still have got on my bucket list.
Yeah, for next year.
And hopefully I'll be up in Bellingham in May. Right. So maybe I can get out on some trails to give me a little taste and to see. The race is pretty stacked. The women's race, it's kind of cool to see Ellie Greenwood.
I saw that
on the start list.
I'm like, excited for that.
That's awesome.
That's
right?
old school.
And then there's like some other runners: Keely Henninger, Gina Slabby, Caitlin Gerben. There's gonna be some fast. That's a fast course.
The women's side seems to be a little more competitive than men. I mean, men's is competitive. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but I think the women's side is going to be more competitive.
It looks that way by the start list.
Yes.
If everybody shows up,
right?
And I think Ellie's a wild card.
Oh, God, I want her to do well. I want her to podium. That'd be awesome.
I think she will, just because who she is, and she's been out for a while, so she's probably done things the right way. Yeah, exactly.
She knows how to race.
So it'd be cool. On the men's side, I've already picked my winner.
Who's that?
Paddy O'Leary.
Just because that name's awesome, and it's
St. Patrick's Day.
Going to be St. Patrick's Day.
How do you not win with a name like Paddy O'Leary?
You can't bet against that.
He's fast anyway.
He is fast.
So I mean, he's got my win. Yeah. Paddy O'Leary for the Chuckanut.
There you go.
It's on St. Patrick's Day. That name it's a killer name anyway. Paddy O'Leary. Like I want that Instagram handle just because it sounds cool. But there's also like David Laney, David Riddle. There's some fast dudes there.
There's fast guys.
Some of those fast, short distance, even some roadie type guys are there too. So
yeah,
That's going to be a big race. And it's always a fun time. I mean, Krissy and her crew do the same thing. You never hear complaints, and they always put on a first-class event, man.
Oh, for sure.
They do everything. Seems like right. And I know for my race directing standpoint, I always look at certain races to see what we can get. Like, what do they do? What do they do? And I think that's one of those that definitely fall in that line. Oh, okay, let's jump. Oh, so in this past week, too, we got a great message from one of our listeners. And he says, hey, you should put together for the Beaverhead Facebook event page for the TrailManners listeners.
Right.
So we can bounce some ideas. Eric Furry. I probably said your name wrong, and I apologize because I do that a lot. But I think it's a really good idea. I'm like, I'm great for having people bounce ideas, especially a race like that where some people have never been on the course, not sure what to expect. And I think it's really cool. So we went ahead and made some. So we did one for Palisades, Beaverhead, El Vaquero, and the Bear right now. Right. So there's a TrailManners event page, and you're more than welcome to jump on there. And essentially what it is, it's like training, nutrition, the race logistics, drop back, anything you have questions on with those races. I mean, start posting them because I've seen on some of the pages already, there's a lot of people already on them, which I was surprised. But there's some definite veterans of ultras.
Of that particular
and
race.
Definite veterans of that race.
Except for the putts.
Yeah, there's no veterans there. But the putts guys are on there.
They are on there.
So they'll be able to chime through. But the other thing it's going to do as well is like give us a chance to make sure that we can maybe schedule the meet up a little bit while we're there.
That'd be nice.
Like if I'm at Beaverhead, because Joel's not going up.
Nope.
They got a great check-in. We can hang out there.
Yep.
Even after the check-in, we can always go have a quick beverage of your choice.
Kind of.
Yeah, we did last year.
If they have any. Last year,
they ran out of the couple of flavors.
Yeah.
At the one place we went.
The only place.
But I mean, even El Vaquero, just to get your logistics. Hey, we'll be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Potluck it. Why don't you bring some artichokes and you bring some
cheese curds,
and you should probably bring cheese curds. And you bring some. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun. So check those out, and if there's other races that we are going to be at, maybe we'll throw those on there too. But
we need one for Javelina.
You going down there?
I didn't say it was, but I'm just saying we need one. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm not on the list.
We need to plant that seed.
Yeah, we do. And I've got my race schedule pretty well planned out. June's first. Let's see, from May to June, there's nothing. Right. I've got nothing. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. Near the end of June, I do.
End of June, you have something.
Twisted Fork.
Yeah.
But I'm fencing on Smut.
Yes.
I'm probably going to go do Zion Traverse in April.
Right.
But I'm kind of up in the air there. But other than that, I'm pretty set through the year.
Yeah.
Except for a couple weeks after the Bear, I think I'm going to go do the Oregon Coast 30K.
There you go.
Put on by James Varner and Rain Shadow Running. I've always wanted to do one of their events.
Just do it.
I love the Oregon Coast.
That over fall break?
I don't know. October 13th. I think it's before.
Oh, it's the week before.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about heading up there. I love that area. But it's a good way to end the race because Bear's going to be my race, the one I'm focused on the most. Right. Everything leading up to it is good racing. And there's a couple I really want to do at, but I think that would be a good way to, because the course looks ridiculous.
Okay.
So I think I'm still on the fence there.
Gotcha.
So if you have anything to do with the Oregon Coast 50K or 30K, bend my ear. Why should I be there?
Okay.
Besides, it's amazing.
Right.
I think that might seal the deal, but. Anyway, so yeah, those are some event pages, so keep an eye out on those. And then we've been working with an individual on some logos. Yeah. And it's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
Let's every time I see the name pop up as I get an email from.
Get a little excited.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that the Taper Up logo is done. It's not on anything yet. No. But it is done. And
I think it's going to make a killer sticker.
It's going to make a killer sticker for sure. And the best part about this logo is unless you listen to the show, I shouldn't say that. I guess any runner could technically, but if you listen to the show, it's got some more inside meaning to it.
It does.
But that one's done, and I'm super pumped.
Cool.
And I may have a few extra hats that I'm going to have them tested out on.
Yeah.
Our good people at Sign Garage. But we also have the Kids K logo.
That one's cool.
That one is rad.
I like that one a lot.
My only thing is we got to trim it down for print. Because there's too many colors.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like going to be like $10 printing just a shirt.
I know, but it looks really
good. So rad. So we really need that Kids K sponsor to step up now. Yeah. So we'll get that going regardless if we have a sponsor. We're waiting for the logo before we opened up registration. But we are there. That logo is
I think it's done. I think we can use it for at least social media now.
Easy. Yeah, so that one's done. But I'm excited to have them both done, especially the Taper Up one, because I think we haven't had swag in our store, and just to have a sticker like that even to hand out.
That sticker would be cool to just hand out.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. So I'm going to head down to Sign Garage because I got to do some business down there anyway.
They can cut that out, right?
Oh, that'd be cool, kind of like the shape of it.
Yeah, it needs to be like that. We can't be square.
It might have to be round. I don't know.
No, we can definitely get what do they call that, die cut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some ads on the Facebook.
So you're talking about like the white ones that you put on your window, or like a sticker like the ones on my computer?
I don't know. We'll have to talk about that some more.
All right. But yeah, so we're excited. Just another step in that direction. And again, I mean, we know we brought it up before, but registration's still open for both of them.
I know.
Don't wait too long. We'd love to see you there, especially if you don't show up to Rickey Gates night and you have nothing going on. Boy, you're missing out. That's going to be amazing. Super excited about that. I'm going to do Strava, and then we're going to do the Woody Footy, Joel's week. So Strava this week, distance was Gib Walters, 99.6.
Whoa.
Andy Noyes came in at runtime in 26.26, and Aaron Hill likes to climb mountains, 27.585.
What?
Right? That's a couple weeks in a row.
Is she doing that? Isn't there a Strava challenge going on right now? I think there is.
Is there?
I think so.
It doesn't matter. That's still a lot of
That is a
lot
lot
of vert.
climbing. Holy cow.
I think I've done that.
I haven't done that in years.
Yeah, that's a lot, like, period. So great job, everybody. All right, now speaking of the Sign Garage, since we're going to go visit them, they are the ones that help us with the Woody Footy Awards. Every week we announce the winner of our favorite photo that you guys post, and we're getting more and more new people, which I absolutely love because that just means more locations.
Yep.
In fact, someone posted one and they didn't say where it was, and it was off the hook cool. And I can't remember who it was now, but they didn't post the location, but it was rad. But yeah, Sign Garage is helping us. Elizabeth and Nate, they're neck deep. They just bought ducks and chickens, babies. They're getting their farm going. They've got goats. Yeah, they're rad. But they got us these hats, and I just went and looked at the hats because I'm rearranging some stuff. We still got quite a few to give away.
We do.
Give out one a week, and this week it was Joel's turn. So Joel, why don't you let everybody know who won this week?
So even though he creeped me out a little bit on the race, Travis from Pocatello or Idaho Falls took a great picture on the Antelope Island 25K course. You get to win this week.
You get to win.
You get to win.
So Travis, if you're listening to the show, go ahead and email me, manners@trailmanners.com. I just need you to send me your mailing address.
Right.
USPS. I just left the post office just now.
Yes.
To ship off a hoodie.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so we only have a couple left. Those hoodies are year-round to me.
Yeah, for me they are.
We have 3 mediums left total, and we're not ordering more.
Size. That's great size.
Yeah, and larges are gone. I don't know if we ordered other stuff unless they were pre-ordered, but yeah, they're all ready to go. So now we're ready for the next round of Ask Trail Manners.
Okay.
And you knew we had 3, so that means you got all my emails.
I did. I read them all.
You read them all.
Yep.
So the first one, Ask Trail Manners. This is I was sent this a while ago, so I wasn't sure if it was an Ask Trail Manners, but I don't know the answer because I'm not familiar. So this is where the listeners have to chime in. You may have some tidbits because of your growing up days. Not your growing days, your growing up days. So this one is, I'm traveling from Canton, Ohio to Banner Elk, North Carolina.
Oh, I remember seeing this
for Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Do you or anyone you know, which is you listeners, know of any trails I can run near there? I'm excited to get some new trails on these legs. Thanks for advice. I'm looking forward, but am unsure if they'd be runnable or not. So if you live in the Banner Elk, North Carolina area, we've got someone going out there on Memorial Day.
So that's next to Boone, and Boone is where Appalachian State University is. There's a crap ton of trails there to run on. He just needs to Google that. He'll get that figured out way fast.
Yeah.
There's lots of ski resorts there. So, yeah, he'll get that figured out. I never ran on any trails when I lived in Charlotte there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if anybody out there knows of some good ones, email me or post it on this episode 80 on Facebook, and we'll make sure they get the information because I love that. Because I've never been there. I don't know where Banner Elk is. Joel does.
He's coming from Canton.
I know where Canton is.
Yeah.
It's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's
Canton, Ohio.
It's going down Banner Elk. Huh.
Banner Elk. All right, next one. Hey, guys, really enjoying the podcast. Got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
This is a good one. For ultra distances, In addition to bringing regular toilet paper, instead of unleaded, do you bring any wet wipes? If so, is there a brand that you prefer?
So as soon as I read this question, I was like, this is going to be Eric's question right here.
Well, I can answer it.
No, this is yours.
Or you're going to let me take it?
This is yours, dude.
Okay.
This is like right up your alley.
It is, because I do use wet wipes.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know why you wouldn't use wet wipes.
Right.
If you had to. And I don't use them every race or every run, but they're always on my person.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times on a training run I haven't taken them with me, but,
And that's when you got the
and I've
the
needed
weeds.
them. Yeah, and I've needed them. But
scratchy weeds.
So yes, I actually do use wet wipes. You can carry them in a little baggie.
Yep. Make sure you put them in a Ziploc bag.
Yes, a Ziploc baggie. So yes, I do use those. And brand-wise, I'm not a brand loyalist.
Yeah.
I'm looking at sell prices.
Yeah.
But since we already have some in our home,
right.
I just take from my home.
Yeah, exactly, right.
I think we use the Kroger brand, which is like their knockoff of Huggies or something.
Yeah.
I know there's probably better ones or whatever, but it does the job.
Right.
So I don't.
Do you go with scented or unscented?
Oh, I definitely do unscented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has some aloe in it.
Well, do you think the aloe could be? Do you wipe your face?
Not after I use the wet wipe.
I mean, the ones that are unused. Does that aloe get a little sticky on your face?
I've never used it on my. I think I've used them after a race, and I can't think that it does. It usually just leaves like little white pieces all over my beard.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It pulls it all off, but yeah, I do. I use them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for longer races, I'll have, if I can remember, I'll put a Ziploc baggie of wet wipes about halfway through.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, for like 100-miler, if I can remember. I've done that in the past, and 9 times out of 10, I don't ever use it.
You don't?
No.
I do.
Yeah.
I always take them with me. It's always good to have, and I've actually loaned them out. I've given them out.
Yeah.
I'm not like
here you go. You got these back.
You can give me the finish. They're all mine. But yeah, I think they're a must for me. So thanks for the question, Chris. Last one. No, oh my gosh, we got 2 more.
We had 4 this week.
Yeah, we do. The one was so short. That's why. Okay, here's one. Derek and Joel. I am running the Antelope Island Buffalo Run 50 mile, and I'm really looking forward to it. Would you please recommend some fun family destinations to check out in the greater Salt Lake area in the days before and after?
Right.
My kids are 14, 9, and the youngest is a happy and very loud 17 months.
Yeah.
My wife and I are planning on running several races in your area, completely your show's influence. So thank you. That's awesome. And he's coming to this one because of ours, because he sent me an email. And we're hoping to keep the kiddos excited about the return visits.
Gotcha.
Thanks, and keep up the great work. Listening to the show on the trails and treadmill has made training much more enjoyable. Patrick Forsyth, Evergreen, Colorado.
Right.
So we both have children.
Yes.
Different ages.
Yes.
Greater Salt Lake area fun.
I think the first thing that needs to be said is Utah is very family friendly.
Yes.
There's lots of stuff for the kids to do.
Depends on what you're into.
It really does come down to that.
Yeah.
A couple things came to my mind immediately. The zoo.
Yep, Hogle Zoo.
And the Utah Natural History Museum.
Oh, that's rad.
Those 2 things are awesome. And then depending on the time of year, too, when you're going to be here.
So it's, I'm going with the zoo.
Yeah.
There's the museum. Is it Da Vinci or what's it?
Yeah, it depends on what's going on in Da Vinci,
though,
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be
sketchy, too. But they have like a dinosaur one. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So whatever exhibit they have coming through, that's downtown.
And then there's that Discovery place at the Gateway.
Yep.
Discovery Playhouse at Gateway
something
or
like
something
that.
like
The Gateway.
That.
There's that.
Then there's the big shopping place next to the downtown area. What's that place called?
City Creek?
Yeah, City Creek.
City Creek's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Cool place to hang out. Got fish in the little creeks. It's a shopping area.
Stinking Creek going through the middle of the shopping area.
Disney store, Cheesecake Factory, all kinds of fun stuff there.
And then you can go over to the Temple Square, which is really cool. You got to go see it once. It's really pretty.
It is pretty.
It's amazing what they did there.
You get close to the race at Buffalo Run, there's Layton. They've got an aquarium in Layton that's really cool.
That's right, they do.
You can pet sharks, stingrays.
Oh, the Loveland Aquarium down by IKEA.
Yeah, that one's
so
really
if you want
cool.
to go down there too.
Yep, so that one's really cool. Again, so much depends on what your kids like. Yeah, Red Butte Gardens for a little hike through the natural gardens up there.
Utah Jazz game, Salt Lake Bees game, Real Salt Lake games.
Yep. Grizzlies games. They got Thanksgiving Point.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a drive, but that's pretty cool because they have dinosaur stuff.
If you're up in our neck of the woods, we got a really cool trampoline park behind the mall now.
Yeah,
behind I know that sounds sketchy, and it is a little sketchy, but it's a really cool trampoline park. It's brand new, and it's awesome.
So, I mean, a lot of it just depends on what your kids are into. But you're having a 17-month-old, they may not go to the trampoline park, or they just get a watch. But
the older kids,
you can do a zoo, you can do an aquarium, you can do
in the summertime. We've got all these water parks.
Farmers markets.
Yeah, exactly. We have, what's that place down there with the roller coasters?
Lagoon.
Yeah. Come on. You got to go to Lagoon.
Lagoon's pretty legit.
Yeah, it is. It's easy to get around. That's the good part.
It really is.
Yeah,
and that's right across from Farmington Station,
which is
another cool place to hang out.
It is.
So there's a lot to do, really. Just it really
Ice
depends on
rinks
what you're into.
You can go get on,
There is some up at Weber State.
Yeah.
There's up at the U, I think they even have one.
Right.
But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Park City's got fun stuff. It's got in the summertime they've got the Olympic Village at Park City.
Yeah.
You can get on the bobsleds.
Zip line for the 17-month-old.
Yeah, they have the adventure thing. That's fun.
Yeah.
I've done that before with my boy. That's a lot of fun. You can stop in and see Canis at Park City Run Company and then go over to the Olympic Park.
Yep.
There we go. I got your day planned out right there.
Jill's a travel advisor.
Yes.
But the 14 and 9 for sure will have fun on most of it. 17-month-old will still have fun.
Yeah.
Just a little different type of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe an aquarium type thing would be more their experience, or a zoo where it's more going on. But there's a lot to do. I mean, those are some for sure.
It's easy to get around.
It is. You can take tracks even. You could take Ubers. You probably have a rental, I'm sure. But it's easy to get around. It's not too far from the airport if you're flying in, but you're probably driving, and that's still easy, right? So I think that's a lot, and there's probably a lot we're missing out on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean,
there's that Cherry Hill in Farmington.
Yep.
It's a little water park that's good for the little ones.
Yep.
Right. There's that Cowabunga place down there by
Point of the Mountain.
Yeah, I don't think it's all the way down there, but it's
pretty getting close.
Yeah, that's good for the older ones.
You can drop the kids off at a friend's house and go to Wendover.
Yeah, take the fun bus out to Wendover.
There's all kinds of stuff. So hope that helps, Patrick. If you have any more questions, just let me know.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so much to do.
Okay, here's a good one. This is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
This came through on Instagram, so I'm not sure if it's an Ask TrailManners, but I'll reply to this one too.
Right.
I did have a question for you guys with the flu running rampant around right now, as well as the season kicking off. Do you guys have any tips on how to get back in the saddle after the flu, especially if you were in like the last 5 to 6 weeks out from an ultra? I've been struggling getting back to where I was, and I am sure there are others in the same boat. Thanks in advance for any help or advice that you guys may have. We've all been facing it here, right? I mean, everybody has. I got lucky this year.
Yeah.
I didn't get the full-fledged, I'm going to put you back for a way.
Right.
However, I have been sick before, pretty hard. The first couple weeks after coming back, I know have been difficult.
It's hard.
Lethargic, your muscles aren't there, your immune system's not built.
Yep.
But I think it takes a couple weeks, and I think you almost have to toe this fine line to not push yourself too hard.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to stress your immune system and maybe get sick again.
Right.
Or you'll never recover as fast. You won't recover as fast.
Exactly.
Right. So I think a lot of it has to do with knowing your own body.
Right.
And knowing what you have around you. Right. Whether it's like some people do sauna stuff to try and sweat out all the nastiness, right? As much as they can. But I think it takes a couple good solid weeks.
I'm going to say 4 or 6 weeks from a flu, from a cold.
Yeah, from a full-on flu, that could be bad.
2 to 4 weeks, right?
But I know rest helps a lot.
It does, rest.
I mean, as hard as that is for especially ultra runners,
yeah,
rest is huge.
Make sure you're eating right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that can help, but I think everybody just responds differently, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of it. It takes time. You're just going to have to be patient.
It does. You can't rush it.
Yeah. And you just have to know that, hey, it's going to take me some time before I get into this race. It may not be coming in how I planned.
Nope.
But I would dare to say that 95% of people I've ever spoken to before a race never say, I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This training worked out. I'm dialed in. The weather's perfect. Nutrition's dialed. So I was like, yeah, I probably could have done a little more. So I think either way, I mean, that's just how it works out. And I know people that when they get close to races, man, they wear masks. They travel everywhere with masks. It's like that extra level of, crap. But once you have it, you just got to know your body. And
initially, when you get it, like that first 24 hours, if you can hit the Zycam, it's going to help.
Yeah.
It really will help.
That's new to me.
You got to hit it up, and you got to follow the instructions on that. And you got to take, whether you take the pill or the little crystals, you got to take it 4 to 6 times in that 24-hour period, and it'll either stop it cold or it'll make the symptoms a lot less than they normally would be.
Less painful.
Yes.
Lethargic.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's a good one. I think it takes its course just like anything. It owns you.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
a while.
like you said, your immune system and your hormonal system have been taxed hard. And it takes a long time to get that back up to snuff.
Because even if you're not eating, you should be drinking tons of fluids. Sometimes you just don't.
Yeah, sometimes you put it in, it comes right back out.
Yep. Or the other thing to do is find a good Netflix to follow and just zone out,
yeah,
right?
Godless, that's a good show.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. Have you seen Godless? Oh, speaking of Netflix, I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm here.
Okay, the show Icarus. You know, the Greek mythology. Yeah. Icarus flew too close to the sun, so that's the name of this movie. And it's about this cyclist. And I know that we're runners, but you'll appreciate this story. It's this amateur cyclist who's actually a pretty good rider. Competed in this race in Europe called the Haute Route.
Okay.
And so it's the hardest amateur cycling event in the world. So basically, they take all the hardest stages of the Tour de France and they compress them into 7 days. Nice. And all these amateur riders are riding it, right? They're racing it. So this guy does it 1 year, and he comes in 14th place, which is good.
Dang.
Right? He goes, but despite that, no matter how hard I rode, the top 10 guys were always a league ahead of everybody. So that got him thinking, are these guys doping?
Uh-oh.
And since doping's rampant in cycling, everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Nobody's not doing it. He goes, how good can I do if I doped?
Uh-oh.
So the story is about him.
This is a true documentary almost?
It's a damn true story. It shows him going through the same protocol that Lance Armstrong went through.
Whoa.
And at first you're blown away. You're like, holy crap. I cannot believe how much drugs you're taking. It's insane. But in doing this, he tries to find somebody here in the U.S. to help him. Nobody in the U.S. is going to touch this.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a Russian doctor
that's
going to help him. So he develops this relationship with this Russian doctor. Come to find out, this is the Russian doctor that's been in charge of their doping program since the London Olympics.
Oh, so he's got some experience.
He's got a lot of experience. So at the same time that he's doing this experiment, the Russian doping scandal is blowing up at the same time.
Gotcha.
So this doctor is fearing for his life. So this American helps him get out of Russia.
Wow.
And then brings him to the U.S., and it just follows this whole... It's a 2-hour movie. It's great.
Is it? I have to check it out.
So you got to watch it. Icarus.
You find him on Craigslist, or how you find a guy like that from Russia?
Yeah, right? It's a really good story.
Huh. That's interesting. I might tune into that.
I've
got some spare time right now, so I might tune into that. Oh, man. So,
so let's wrap that up real fast. If you have a good show on Netflix, let us know.
Yeah, because I just started some Jenny Jones or Jenny James or some Marvel one.
Yeah.
I started that one.
Have you? Did you watch Godless?
Not yet.
It's a good one.
I watched Quantico.
I didn't watch that.
That was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like I didn't mind. I like the characters.
Okay.
I like when they build characters and you can like, cool, I like this person. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Wind River is another one that was on there.
Oh, that's the movie. I saw that one.
I saw that. That was.
It's
a little gruesome there. Yeah, where they're shooting everybody.
Yeah, that was.
But anyways, if you guys have got a good Netflix movie, let us know, or series.
Yeah, I'm kind of into the series thing because movies that I can't sit for 2 hours. Right.
Well, with the Icarus thing, I watched half of it and I came back the next day and watched the other half.
Gotcha. I guess I could probably do that, but I I got Stranger Things. You told me about that.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was something totally different. And I started watching it, and I crushed those 2 seasons like that. I'm like, I'll watch another one. It's only like 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a vice now. That's it for this week. Again, this Friday, March 16th, we'd love to see you at AmerSport Factory Outlet between 4 and 7 p.m. Again, just come say hi. If you're already registered, come say hi.
Yeah.
We'd love to register some people there, and you also get some bigger discounts on some stuff. But at the end of the day, it'd be nice to say hello to everybody and kind of pad that start list. There's some fun to be had, and also for the night to see Rickey Gates. So don't forget about that. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to ask your TrailManners questions. Other than that, we will catch you next week. And everybody have a safe and fun St. Paddy's Day. And go get them, Patty O'Leary.